I have come down to the offices at Royal Fireworks Press because a lot of people are having trouble figuring out where to start. This is just one level of the MCT curriculum, and I get it, but I promise it's very easy. So the thing about MCT is that it's an absolutely complete curriculum. You get everything that you can need in a language arts context in one curriculum, but you don't have to get everything all at once. So this curriculum can be used individually, so you can use a grammar book, or you can use the entire level together. And there's a very simple way to go about it. If you're using just one strand, let's say you want to learn about poetic devices more, you're just going to pick up one book and you can use it just as a standalone and you don't have to do the whole curriculum. On the other hand, if you want the more comprehensive approach, we recommend that you start with grammar. Every level begins with grammar because grammar is the foundation of all language arts, and once you have this nailed down, then everything else kind of opens up. Every book in the curriculum has available an instructor manual. Some people choose only to do the instructor manual. Other people want their child or student to have their own book, and then they teach from the instructor manual. It really depends on how your family or your classroom likes to learn. But here's what I can say about it. While open and go usually means that it's like super, super easy, this is open and go in a different way. You're just gonna get step-by-step instructions. It's like reading a book. You can start from the beginning, read the pages, and read along with the student if you're gonna do student and instructor. And every page is gonna just have teaching notes, and you just go at whatever pace is making sense. So this is where people get tripped up with MCT because, like, what are the rules? What's the schedule? The schedule doesn't matter. The child determines the schedule. You're going to learn on the child's time. If they're getting it, you're going to zoom through things. And if they're needing time to process, you're going to take it slowly, but that's all okay. The other thing you can do if you don't want to get overwhelmed in like picking books is you can just order a full level package. It'll come all the books shrink wrapped in one. It's going to have an implementation guide at the front of it that's going to include the list of books and how you should go through it if you like that kind of guidance. It's not a rule. You can go through it however you want. But this is for people who like that kind of, week by week guidance. So if you're going to do everything, you're going to go through grammar, vocabulary, which is wonderful. I cannot recommend the vocabulary enough. That was kind of the basis of the entire MCT curriculum. The way that MCT teaches vocabulary doesn't just teach kids to memorize words. It teaches the stems, the Latin and Greek stems, and it gives kids access to just hundreds of words by building them like Legos. So even if they don't know a word, they'll know what the stem is and they'll be able to decode what so many words mean just based on their understanding of those stems. So then you're gonna have writing as well. And of course for grammar, there's actually also a practice book. See, these books they're not workbooks. They're like beautiful stories and illustrations, and the grammar is like taught through it, but you do want to reinforce grammar. So these are like very thoughtfully selected sentences, and we do what's called 4-level analysis, where the kid goes through the parts of speech, the parts of the sentence, the phrases, and the clauses for each level, and that builds up from level 1 all the way through level 7. I did briefly touch on poetics, but so this isn't poetry, this is poetic devices. So teaching kids what types of writing sound beautiful, the types of devices that we use, poetic devices, to make things harmonic and beautiful and cohesive, and that goes from writing poetry to writing essays, just writing beautifully and writing well. And then we also have literature trilogies that go with every level, and so we really, really are concerned that kids are reading, that they're reading well, that they're digesting books, that they're analyzing them, that they're even getting the vocabulary and the meaning. We've got these little notes at the bottom that are called language illustrations. So these ones were written by Michael Clay Thompson, but in the later levels, it's classic literature, Alice in Wonderland and Wind in the Willows, and then even higher you get into Charles Dickens, and basically it'll really help kids digest what is on the page without having to go to a computer and look it up. It'll all be right there. And yeah, it's really very simple. If you just start with grammar and then the practice, you'll just build from there. The books are all available. You don't have to do all of them. You can do however many of them you want. We definitely recommend if you're going to do just a very, very core curriculum, at least grammar and vocabulary. Obviously, writing is the goal at the end of learning grammar and vocabulary. So I would definitely recommend, if you want just the bare bones, to do those. But certainly poetics and literature and practice, so important. If you're thinking about which level to start on, we actually have a whole separate video on that. It's very simple. It basically grade level or age based and ability, like a little bit of a mix in there. If you pick a level and it's not the right level, we'll switch it out for you. It's not a big deal. We want kids to be learning in the way that makes the most sense for them. And the other question we get a lot is like, how does this align with curriculum standards? We aren't aligned like specifically with any state. We have found that anytime we have had to go through the process of answering questions for people about whether or not we do meet their standards, we've exceeded them substantially. So if you have specific questions about what curriculum goals are in your state standards, just go ahead and reach out. But because there's so many levels, there's so many separate things to learn, we found that we are really covering all the bases. So yeah, it's pretty simple. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me, call the office. The phone number is listed on the website. We have real people that answer the phone. So it's not, a messaging system or AI or anything. People who really, really care about education and about kids learning really high level stuff, and that we're not dumbing anything down. So yeah, I hope you order and enjoy.